You know, hearing the national anthem from one young boy from from Gotham's Knights is a fantastic way to hear it, especially if only Bane did not show up all of a sudden when he says, "Such a lovely tune." Oh, such a lovely tune. Yeah. So for anyways, I would say it's time we go punch crime in the face. This is Arkham to Win Days. Hi there, viewers. I am Leo Wolverine, your game commentator and founding member of Leo's Let's Plays Alliance. As we're going to continue our story in progress of the Dark Knight Rises movie story. So this is Part 5 or Episode 5. So, where do we start off? Ah, yes. The stadium from where Bane says such a lovely tune or a lovely voice or something, And so, okay. Now that Bane is there, he's going to set off the charges, not just under the stadium of the football field, but where Gotham's GCPD officers were heading into the sewers, and they're going to get trapped in there. So yeah, they're going to get trapped in there like completely, and there's like no entrance, no escape thing. And so for that matter, they enter the sewers, and they thought this was the mayor said it was a training exercise. So it was a training exercise into that one, so on and so forth. And now we got ourselves preparing to an explosion thing. And here we go. The explosions underneath of the tunnels were blocked in. No way in, no way out. And now the tunnels underneath the football field, not the whole stadium, just the field itself is about to be blown to bits because you see the NFL, the kicker, who is the mayor of Pittsburgh, kicked off the football, and now the NFL Hall of Famer Hines Ward receives the football, tries to run around to get past the football players as Gotham's Knights, because the NFL is part of the DC universe. So yippee, Skippy! Yeah, as Bruce Campbell would say this in Spider-Man 2, the video game would say, yippee, Skippy. So, yippee, Skippy. Okay. So, yes, it was, people are mortified and horrified from what they are seeing because the collapse of the tunnel of you know what happens. And now the police officers are trapped in there. Almost every GCPD officer is trapped. So yeah, they're all trapped. And now, and nobody should believe coincidence. I don't know if that is going to be coincidence on what's going on. I'm trying to be accurate, but I'm not that kind of good type of guy. So yeah, it's going to get ugly. So now that every GCPD officer, almost every GCPD officer, trapped in the sewers, and now there's no way out for them. Officer John Blake is now no longer an officer. He's now a detective, and he now works for Jim Gordon's unit. Because you don't believe in coincidence, he now believes that things are coming to light. So now what do we do? And now you'll see Bane entering the football stadium. And it's... and he says hello to Gotham. And then he gives the greetings to the people of the citizens of Gotham and says hello to them. And then he wants to introduce it to a special visitor, and that would be Dr. Leonard Pavel. And then the army is getting a good look, and then Gotham's news and all that are on the look and say, "Oh man, well, you got to turn this on. I mean, this is not good news." And one of them says, "Get the president on the line." And I'm guessing it's the President of the United States. And so for that, but that was like way after. And he did introduce the Dr. Leonard Pavel on the stadium. And now... Ooh, you should have known this would have been coming for Dr. Leonard Pavel. So Bane says, "What is this device?" And he says it is a prototype neutron atomic bomb. And how far and how big this explosion? And he says, "And how big is this explosion?" And he says, the blast radius of the explosion would be approximately around 6 miles. And he said something about how who is the only one who can disarm it. And Dr. Leonard Pavel says, "Only me." And why would he say only me? And that's because he's the only way who knows how to disarm it. And Bane says, thank you, Dr. Pavel, for your efforts. And then Bane kind of broke his neck in front of the crowd, and everybody screamed like, "Wow, that was dark." So the whole crowd, including the kids who are watching a football game, was okay. So yes, and now that Bane has broke the neck of Dr. Pavel, which he is now the dead, he said something about he says, good citizens of Gotham, I bring you more message to you. Oh, you hit me with a car. And so he tells him about there's this trigger man, and then the trigger man would be the unsung hero, and he says, "This unsung hero, who is the trigger man, will trigger the bomb. Well, all you have to do, go back to your homes and keep your families close. Tomorrow you'll claim what is rightfully yours." And yeah, that was the end when he was carrying the microphone of the ref. I don't know where he got it, but I'm guessing the referee is dead from that football game. And now that the army got the president on the line about the terrorism thing, because Bane's revolutionized war zone in theory. And now everything is no longer in play. And what are they gonna do? I mean, they're gonna send out the army and to stop these terrorists. And one of the League of Shadows, or the mercenaries of Bane, says something about Oh my, even though it's not cringeworthy, he said something about, you're not gonna believe what he's gonna say. He says, you think you have what it takes to defeat my army or some sort. He says, you don't have the firepower to stop all of us. He says, no, we don't, but you will. And he says, why? And why the heck would we do that? And this mercenary says, if one person crosses this bridge, Gotham gets blown to hell. So yeah, and this soldier kind of couldn't believe what he heard in front of his ears and his eyes. So if one person crosses the bridge, Gotham gets blown to bits. So yes, it is not a nice way to get blown to bits, and it's just this is gonna get ugly. We need to find a way that how do you go and infiltrate on the inside job? Simple. Try not to mess things up and not to cause a riot, or else bad things will happen. And you know how things are gonna go. So Bruce Wayne is watching, of course, before he had his before he had his spine put back into place, and you hear someone about, I don't know if it's the president or not, and we dealt with this, and we'll do it again. We do not negotiate with terrorists, even though that the one thing about negotiating with the mob back then from the movie of Batman of Michael Keaton, as well, along with some other movie aspects, just the Michael Keaton Batman movie of 1989. Even though that Harvey Dent tried to make a deal with the mob, instead, why should have gone say we do not negotiate with terrorists thing? But instead, they Tim Burton didn't know what to do with it. So. But Christopher Nolan kind of did work on the 2012 movie. So now that Gotham is being under siege, and then Bane is giving out this speech about because the notes that he carries is going to, oh boy, a piece of note that Commissioner James Gordon was going to officially retire. So yeah, he was going to officially retire by saying and pronounce and hide my shame, because I praise the madman who saved my little boy's life for this dying and fallen idol. If you want to know who's that fallen idol, and that would be Harvey Dent, the one that Joker broke his sanity and brought him down to his level. So yeah, it actually broke him, like, completely, because since that Rachel is gone, Harvey Dent is like, he has nothing left. He has, like, nothing left at all. And now, and when Commissioner James Gordon knows about this, and then when Detective John Blake hears about this on the TV set, and then, because all this for a lie, and it says, and then, because we have to, the scum of the filth need to be cleaned up, and it says, and all about this, and it was all this based on a covering of a white lie, so you can keep yours clean. They had to Jim Gordon had to take, he didn't take the blame, but had to cover up of Harvey Dent's murder because Batman had to save Jim Gordon's son and the son's life because he was going to kill him by chance. And there was nothing he can do about it. So, because of that, it was a cover-up, because if that were undone, all of Blackgate's prisoners would be released. And guess what? Blackgate prisoners were released by Bane. And now all of them are free from Blackgate. And now Dr. Jonathan Crane is now free from Blackgate in prison, but I'm not sure he's from Blackgate prison. It's now that everything is going to be rightfully theirs for the people of Gotham, and the Blackgate prisoners are going to take everything what they want from the hotels, the grocery stores, and most of the houses that surrounded of Gotham's bridges around the islands itself. And now there is no way to get off the island, only that one bridge that would get blown to bits in all of Gotham because of a nuclear atomic bomb. So they had to come up with ways. Of course, Bruce Wayne was training himself to get back up. Now that he's able to walk again, and he said, but only a child did this, because now he does remember who it was. And he's training himself hard, and he says, "My soul is ready to. I'm afraid to die here. I mean, like, you know." And so you see, like, we whizzed past like a few months, or maybe. Now, Bane said did go off in a calculation of 9 months. So 9 months goes by really quickly in the third movie of the Christopher Nolan universe of The Dark Knight Rises. So now that they're going to send in like a specialized SWAT team or a SWAT force. And now they're going to try to come up with plans, and then he said something about that bomb is going to go off in 23 days. So this means they got like 3 weeks and 2 days left before that bomb goes off, despite the Bane's revolution of onslaught of why do they call him the poor revolutionist? So yeah, I mean, Bane is somewhat of the poor revolutionist for setting a bomb going off for all of Gotham City. He wants to cleanse Gotham because he wants to carry out Ra's al Ghul's destiny to destroy the city of Gotham and the citizens itself and rebuild a new Gotham. And I think Batman does not want to see whether those who are people who are killed, who are innocent, or those who have been proven guilty. So this shows a lot about Batman's character, whether they are guilty or innocent. Of course, the plot failed about to try to get the people out of here to stop a nuclear bomb. They try to mark bat symbols to know which one is the real bomb and which one's the fake that drives around on a garbage truck. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I'm guessing they kind of want to improvise. So, and because of that, they absolutely failed. So there is no way for them to find a way to get to find the real nuclear bomb. And so for that matter, what do they do next? Since Bane has found them, and he tells him, and hang them from where the world all the world can see of what happens to those who try to disarm a nuclear bomb. And Bruce Wayne was really angry. He shuts the TV off by throwing this hard rock brick object, and it shuts itself off. So he doesn't want to see any more of it. And now he says, I'm afraid to die here. And he says, my soul is ready to escape with my body. And he says, you cannot make that jump. That's jump with privilege. You have to make that jump that's born from hatred, born out of hatred and suffering. Well, once you make that jump, fear will find you again. So that jump cannot be made from privilege. It has to be made for suffering, complete suffering and anguish, completely. And that is how you make that jump, like completely, like almost supernatural. He will make that time again, but he says only this time do it without the rope. So, you have any idea that Bruce Wayne is now dreaming about something, and when you hear Bruce Wayne's father, Thomas Wayne, he says, Bruce, why do we fall? So we can learn to pick ourselves up again. He is being reminded back in the first movie about how do we pick ourselves up again, because is he going to pick himself up again? Of course he will. So he's going to pick himself up again. And now he is getting ready to climb up there once again. And he's got all the supplies he needed. And Bruce is thankful for the doctor helping him get his backbone fully healed. And now he's getting ready to make the climb. And this time he's going to climb up without the rope. Without the rope. So he's going to climb up without the rope. He's starting going from brick by brick. And now he's going to, now he's getting higher. Plus, the music of Hans Zimmer gets more little intense. And you hear the people saying, arise. Of course, when they are chanting like in the prison cells. Will he be able to throw down the rope and let every prisoner escape out of here? Let's see. He's right there. You see the bats swarming in out of the crevice of the prison cell. And then he sees the ledge where that child made that leap of faith and he thought it was Bane. So if Bane could do it, then Bruce Wayne can do it, and not as Batman. And so the music gets intensified, even though it's mostly percussion, but you hear some of the instruments. I mean, not all percussion, but... And now he's going to make that jump. And guess what? He jumps up in the air and grabs the ledge. And everyone, and the prisoners gives out a loud cheer. And he finally made it. He throws down the rope so everyone can escape with their lives. And now, finally, Bruce Wayne is heading back to Gotham City, and the music ends to the next scene. And a dramatic way, or an epic type of music that goes along with it. So yes, that's how it makes it done. And I do believe we are going to stop here. And don't worry, we are going to continue to pick up from where we left off for another time. And So thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and tell me, what do you guys think of the Dark Knight Rises movie story, whether it's loved or hated by viewers. And mash that like button or share this video if you guys love the Dark Knight Rises movie story of the movie itself of 2012 directed by Christopher Nolan. This is Leo Wolverine saying and speaking as always as your sensational special being who takes chances, makes mistakes, and get messy in Leo's Let's Plays Alliance. Godspeed, play safe, and shalom. Remember, the Dark Knight is always watching you. See you guys next time for more of Arkham to Wednesday.